So, welcome to this episode of Inside the Den Coffee with a Coach. And I'm really excited that our second Coffee with a Coach is with Coach Susan Burnett. And I'm going to call you Coach Susan Burnett because, as Kyler and I talked about in our very long episode, a coach is more than someone in sports that teaches technique, right? Or skills or runs drills. A coach is someone who really loves to get to know people, wants to connect with people, wants to be in service to people, wants to help them be not just the best athlete they can be, but the best person that they can be. And that, I think we both know that growth never changes. So whatever stage in our case, the WC wrestlers are, Susan Burnett is there to help every single man and woman on the team get through whatever's the next thing and feel supported. And so that's why I'm calling you Coach, and you'll always be Coach in my mind. Do you go by Coach? Do you go in your household?
This is the first.
Well, from this point on, it'll be Coach Susan Burnett.
Oh, I think there's only room for one coach in this house.
Good point. That's a good point. Okay, so what I'm most excited about, and the reason we're getting together for Coffee with a Coach, is to discuss the third annual golf tournament fundraiser, the banquet, and the reunion.
Yep.
And let's start by walking through like the basics, the date, the location, all the important details.
Yeah, so that is going to be July 22nd. It is a Saturday. The golf tournament starts at 8:00 a.m.
Okay.
And then the banquet, which is an alumni banquet, but it's open to all wrestling alumni, wrestlers, alumni, supporters, and golfers, so everybody can come. We had a little mini one last year, but this is like the first time we're doing an all-out alumni. Alumni will be coming from all over the United States, and so that will be fun. And that starts at 3:00 and will end at 9 p.m.
Okay, and Susan, this is the largest single fundraiser that WC Wrestling puts.
This is our kickoff the season fundraiser, and our goal is to raise, it would be great, 50% of what we need, which is like 150,000 or more, so that the coaches can coach and the student athletes can be students and athletes. They'll still be doing other things, but they have a lot on their plate, and this just makes it so much easier for them to be the best students they can be, the best wrestlers they can be, and plus gives them time to be ambassadors for wrestling, because that's one of our biggest things that our team does.
Yeah, so right away, one of the things that you and Phil shared with me is how much fundraising you do so that the students are not having to do year-round fundraising. Because as you pointed out, you during the season, you really want them focused on these key things. One is school and making sure they're staying up with their academics, and then there's the team, and then there's also just making sure that they have a balanced life. It's important as a college student or as a student athlete to have a balance of activities and things that happen outside of wrestling in school, and also prioritizing family and things like that. And so I think it's just it's very admirable that as a club, varsity club, right? That you have really set this mission and goal to fund the program very much like a university program would, so that student athletes can just be student athletes and not having to be in all their spare time fundraising. So I think that this is a tremendous mission and goal that you and Phil set, and I'm really, really excited about attending all the events. I don't plan on swinging in a club. Are you planning on golfing?
I've never golfed.
You've never golfed? I've dabbled, but I don't know that wrestlers make the best golfers. I'm kind of excited. You mentioned a little bit about people coming from great distances. Do we know who's coming the furthest for the event?
I'm not sure what state if he's in, but I think Gunner is coming from the furthest so far. So
Okay.
that's basically from East Coast somewhere.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't
Wow.
want to guess on the state because I can't really remember, but
Okay.
but we're
And
really excited for everybody because, this is a great time for people to see people they haven't seen in a long time, share some wrestling stories. Where James Cox, the president, is putting together this fabulous video of the
oh,
history of WSU wrestling, which is pretty fascinating. And plus, video and picture clips. And we have a lot of fun things in store. Zach Drilovich, he has volunteered to direct this whole tournament and fundraiser, which is admirable on his part. He has great ideas, and his father used to be a Pac 8 WSU wrestler.
oh,
So
okay.
his
Wow.
family is kind of stepping in and supporting and helping in this way. And so we're really excited about that.
What does it mean to you to have someone like him want to come in and donate all this time and support and assist?
Well, everybody's grateful because I was doing it before and Susan's never golfed. So it's everybody's really thankful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most of all, I am thankful because he's got some great ideas, and he this High Cedars Golf Club is where it's going to be at in Ording. It's beautiful golf course, Mount
And,
Rainier view.
ooh,
It's just really going to be nice. It has an outdoor banquet area that holds a lot of people. I think everybody's going to just have a really great time. It's going to be a great summer day and no rain, and so we're just going to have a good time.
I know I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing, of course, current, WCU program people, but I'm also really interested in meeting and making connections with people that have been involved in the past. And meeting, people like the person who's stepping in and really helping put on the golf tournament. There, if you're not going to come and swing a club, but you want to somehow donate time or donate, what can people do other than coming and golfing?
Well, you can come and golf if you're golfers, or if you're just even beginners, it's fine. It's $125 per golfer. We do take teams of 45 also. If you don't have that day available and can't come at all, there's many ways you can get involved. You can sponsor a cart for $125. And we just need like an 8.5 by 11, your name or your business logo, and then we'll print it off in color and advertise for you. So that's one way you can just donate any amount, or we do have sponsor golf holes, which for business or individuals, we've already got 5 individuals that have sponsored a golf hole for $1,000. They are all in wrestling campaign donors that we're really excited. That's our new campaign. So if you're in all in donator, that is an automatic. You get a lot of benefits besides being a sign at the golf
Mhm.
um, hole. You get a sign at the alumni banquet. It's going to be awesome.
Um, and I think you can donate items for auction. Is that correct?
Right. You can donate gift cards, items to be auctioned off. You can for prizes. Yeah, anything that you can contribute in that manner would be great. I was just looking to see if there was anything else I forgot. Yeah, but what's important is everybody needs to RSVP right
Okay.
away because we need to secure the golf carts. We need to know if you're coming to the banquet because it's going to be awesome food. We're going to have barbecue chicken or barbecue ribs. And so we need to have a food count for you, and guest star can be included.
Okay.
So I know a lot of alumni wanted to know if they could bring their spouses, and of course, yes.
Yeah. Barbecue chicken. You don't have to tell me or ask me twice. I'm very excited about the location. I'm so excited about people coming together, having a really good time. And so Um, Thinking forward from the golf tournament, do we have any thoughts or anything planned right now for future fundraising?
Yeah, there's fundraising all throughout. The one big one is our campaigns. We have like the Wrestle Forever campaign where you can donate $10 or more per month. And that's for people who want to support just wrestling in general
Okay.
and know how it benefits you. We have the All In campaign where it's $100 or more a month. And that's for passionate people that are recognizing that we are not only the WSU wrestling team, but our mission and our goal is community, developing wrestling just throughout Washington State. There's a lot of hot spots, and our team goes in and puts on clinics. We've put on 2 clinics last year in Pullman and Tri-Cities, which you helped do. And our goal is, and this year we'll have more, that every wrestler is certified to teach at a clinic.
Oh,
So that way, we're teaching them how to be coaches,
yep.
because they're all very capable of doing that. And we'll just be sending people everywhere. Like when they go to their hometown, they can teach and promote going to college, taking care of themselves, getting good grades, and
Yeah.
just promoting WSU wrestling. They're really ambassadors of wrestling, and our program is now being like a model. People are calling us from all over. So not only are you helping wrestling in Washington State by supporting our group, we're teaching other schools anywhere from
Mhm.
around the United States on how to open up a team and run it successfully, because basically how WSU has it do it is as a business.
Yeah, you touched on two things. I'll start with the first one, which is community. In every episode so far of Inside the Den, whether it was an athlete or whether it was with Coach Kyler, we keep talking. Really, it was Julie Wilson that kicked it off, but um, how wonderful the community at WSU wrestling is. I attribute a lot of that to Coach Phil and just how he sets a tone for and is setting the culture of community, and not just talking about it, but how he actually puts that into action. I've talked a lot in the episodes of how I too have been touched by the magic of Coach Phil and his community. And, talk with me a little bit about, you know, I think you guys have been at this for a while and now you're really seeing it. What are your thoughts on what a wonderful community for wrestling that you guys are creating at WSU?
Yeah, well, I kind of look at it as the duplication process. So, Phil would love to set up, coaching institutions just like what he's doing. So, we've got other people that have already done that. We have like 15 past wrestlers that is coaching in some type of capacity, either if it's like a feeder club into, like a junior high or a high school, junior high coaches, high school coaches, we have college coaches, club coaches. So it's just really exciting to, see that happen.
Yeah, and I think all of that community is definitely going to be felt and experienced at the golf tournament reunion and banquet this year.
Mhm.
I since I'm still new to the program and I haven't had a chance to do all these things yet. This will be my first time going, but I really expect it's going to be quite special. There's a lot to celebrate right now because of you know, all of the hard work that you all have put in the last 6 years and ramping up to this year, achieving varsity club status at Washington State University in the recreation department. Just share like, wow, the long road to varsity status and, what that kind of means to you.
Yeah, I mean, there's still so much to this whole picture, but this is like such an amazing achievement, but definitely not a resting spot by any means. It definitely, the WSU is totally behind us, which has been really amazing. Been offering us, like, for instance, for this tournament, they gave us the hand bid website to run our whole tournament off of and do our auction, and
Great.
just giving us that type of platform. They're just definitely just been very, very supportive of everything that we've done. But I do want to touch on that, Phil is really big on um, getting into, the kids going back into their high schools and
Yeah.
promoting wrestling and working with them and talking to the younger generation about going to college. And we have been contacted by so many people of the younger age, like sophomores in high school and
Oh,
freshmen that are already planning to go. And that is a big step that we've never had before. People are, after they graduated, and usually like a year after they're graduated from high school, they're thinking about it. But no,
yeah.
everybody's like pre-planning. And it's because of all the social media. It's because of how you've worked with the kids on teaching them how to be an ambassador of wrestling. It has a lot to do with James Cox, the president, how he is totally into being in the community. What can we do? He's always looking at what can we do next to affect the community. Um, and then you got Phil doing what he does. I mean, I just don't, it's just snowballing basically.
Yeah.
Exciting.
So, okay. So I said the one thing was community. Then the other thing was going to be coaches. And you touched on a little bit how we've had so many past wrestlers go into coaching, and then the goal, and I really like this goal of having our current wrestlers get certified,
Yes.
to go and to coach more. I think that I think Phil in the WC program is really modeling what good coaching looks like, how to build a community, how to make wrestling's really hard. How do we also make it fun? How do we make sure that we are welcoming to a wide variety of both male and female students? And it's always just about what's the next thing and moving forward. So the other thing I was kind of thinking about is I've touched on this with some other folks, but when you're in a university program, you're a student athlete, and you might be team captain, but there usually aren't a whole lot of other requirements made, required of you while you're, a university athlete. But within the club system, they are required to have a student board, and the students are, expected to take on real leadership responsibilities. What's it like working with these young college students that are stepping into president, vice president, safety officer, working with the Department of Recreation, and having to kind of take some real ownership and leadership in the program?
Yes, it's been amazing. It's been an amazing experience to work with each one of them because you learn a lot more about them. But
Yeah,
I have to say that our officers, I mean, are just top notch. I mean, James Cox, he's passionate about where the direction, we're all on the same page. I'll just have to say it that much, which is totally a great thing. But James Cox, I mean, and everybody has their focus of what they really want to
right.
do, but everything that everybody has to contribute is awesome. So we have Vice President Tyson Russell, and he basically assists when everything, because there's just a lot to do. So
Yeah,
that's basically why we operate all year round,
yeah,
because our goal is to get a lot of this in line so that you guys can coach and concentrate on just the wrestling. Kobe Bowie is amazing. He's been doing all of our social media, and he designed, we're coming out with this brand new gear package. It's a 5-piece thing where they get a backpack, a headgear, a t-shirt, fighting shorts, and a sweatshirt. It's only these wrestlers can have this. It's specialized. It's
cool.
been Cougar. It's going to be Cougar approved. It's all just specialized Cougar wrestling.
Great.
Cliff Keen is our brand new supplier, and it's just that
Excellent.
new thing that's going to be really exciting that's happening. You've got Captain Julie Wilson, who is just on board and on top of helping every woman that is interested in wrestling at WSU Wrestling. And Sarah Plummer is also helping her. And like yesterday, she took a gal on tour of the campus. So the officers are always on hand to do tours, talk to recruits. There's just a lot to do, but they're totally fulfilling their duties and learning how to run a business.
Yeah.
We have Mariama Job. She's the treasurer, and that's a lot of work to do. So, we're just getting a system that works. Because to be honest with you, there's only one other team that's created this large of a budget and members, which is crew. And, you have to get really creative in how you keep track of all this stuff and communicate, not just within our team, but we have to be on board and in sync with WSU also.
Yeah. It's a big, again, this is all college students and supporters
Yes.
turning all these wheels and managing everything.
Yes.
And also, I know we all care very much about doing things with transparency, doing them the right way, having a very good relationship with WSU. And I'm very excited to interview the officers. May have to roll out some special music and things for the officers, but yeah, I know exactly what you mean about by having them be in these positions and working with them, you get to know them a lot better. I'm, kind of getting a little taste of that doing this YouTube series. Tyson Russell, I had a great interview with him. Then in Kyler's episode, I called Tyson Tyler like 5 times. and Tyson's gonna laugh at that and then probably talk to me about it later too, because in my episode with him, right off the bat, I called him Tyler. I have no reason, I don't know why.
You were so I'm sure the TY.
just silly thing. And then man, my time with Kobe was so awesome. And he's got this very full-on internship, 40 hours a week. He's training on the side, trying to do social media, and he and I are working, as best we can with his heavy hours and everything to make sure these episodes, get put out and on social media and things. And so he's every time I get to spend, episodes with them is really, really awesome. And you and I are somewhat in a similar boat in the sense that we're not up at Pullman every single day with the team. We're not in that truck with Phil heading, the 5-hour drive.
Well, we might be on the phone.
Yes.
Keeping him awake.
Yes. Yeah. I've gotten phone calls from him on the way back, and whatever it takes to keep him alert behind the wheel. Maybe what we should do, maybe we'll do a on the road with Phil Burnett. And we'll just do an audio podcast where we're just talking about the week, keeping him talking and sharing news with people that subscribe and listen. I think they would, getting a little weekly update from Phil, and as he's on the road, could be really, really fun.
It could outdo the one with Kyler because it'd be like 5 hours.
Yeah, that was a marathon. To anyone who watched the whole thing, bravo.
Yeah.
What are you most excited about moving forward?
Oh, you always dream about finding something that you can get a hold of that no one else has done. And it is just, you wish for that and dream about that, but we've definitely been given this gift of WSU wrestling, and there is just, the future is so huge. I just know it's even bigger than what I can think of right now, because Phil and I, our dreams or ambitions are just so big for the team. But we've catapulted so fast
Yeah.
Because so many people get it. So many people want wrestling in our communities, in our state. Everybody wants our student athletes to go to a good college, and WSU offers that. They have every degree under the sun. Um, and the just that we're starting a new thing where academics is important. Wrestling is important too, because that keeps you a sound mind.
Yeah.
But with the girls, the first year, they're academic All-American for the women of the whole NCAA. I mean, I think we all just went, I mean, down in Puerto Rico, we exploded because that
Yeah.
was a dream. I mean, the dreams for the whole team, but what a great start.
Yeah.
Uh, because we have some students that are taking really hard degrees,
Yes.
and they,
I'm amazed at and granted, Washington State University is a big state university, and that's what's so the all the availability to study different things is what's so great about going to a big school like that. But
Mhm.
I am super impressed with what so many of them have selected, and how hard it all is.
Yeah, and I'm impressed. I mean, in watching now, like McKenna graduating and seeing her have her degree and what she does with it, and and Jake Jenneret teaching and coaching and going on
Yeah.
and just I'm just excited for their futures. I'm excited for all of these athletes' future, and it's so awesome to be a part of that. I mean, you can complain about how the world is going right now, but I have no complaints because I feel like investing in this group is like our foundation. I mean, these once they have their education and they apply what everything they've been taught through, WSU and through our wrestling program, to work hard, never give up, to believe in others, to support your community, to give back, just like they're doing now, they will continue doing it because they have a passion for it. This world will explode because if, like I said, with Phil affecting, 70 people, that's just one year, and you have other people duplicating that process, it won't take a long time for wrestling just to totally explode.
Yeah, I love it. It's, not everybody wants to share the secrets of their success, once they start gaining ground.
Right.
The fact that Phil, and you all, it's like, no, we want everybody to experience what we're experiencing. We want to grow collegiate wrestling wherever it can be grown, whether it's a full university program or a club program. I think I actually am really enjoying the club system. I had a lot of fun in Puerto Rico. I really enjoyed seeing what all the other teams are. I enjoyed seeing which teams had women. There was a female from MIT, and I'll never forget her singlet had like all these mathematical equations and things on it. And I thought, this is just a really, really great community. Nobody in this space is on a huge scholarship. They weren't recruited by the nation. They're not,
Right.
saying my school of choice, what their school of choice is on Flow Wrestling. It is an unbelievably dedicated group of young people that love wrestling, and
Yes.
they found their school of choice. They want to keep wrestling, and they're either finding these club programs or they're actually making them.
Yeah.
And I'm so thrilled that Phil and WSU, that like our program can be an ambassador for these other
Right.
clubs or whoever just wants some assistance on how to grow and how to do things. I'm really I really think that's a little pat on the back, that it's something to be proud of.
Yeah.
Talk with me a little bit about, you guys had a banquet, and was this the first time you had a banquet like on campus?
Yes. Yes. I mean, it's so busy with having travel and doing nationals at the very end, we've never ever been able to bring it all together to have a banquet, but we have our little mini banquet just for the nationals down there and wherever we go, which is kind of like a more of a fun
It
event.
was fun.
You know, 'cause we keep it on the more of the funnier side. But it was great and will be definitely a tradition from here on out to have a banquet and great food and to get together one more time with family and their parents. I mean, it worked out
Yeah.
really great. There were so many parents there. And just to acknowledge every single person because everybody has given so very much.
Yeah. So Susan, I understand that you have a special story that you would like to share. I won't give any spoilers. Go ahead and just
Sure.
let it roll for us.
So when the student athletes are applying for jobs as coaches or even for their own jobs, they always come for Phil to ask for a reference. So this one student athlete, DeAndre Vasquez, came to Phil and says, I'm taking over the high school program. And he came to our house. He had his book and paper and everything. He was all ready to take notes on how to coach a wrestling team. And I think he had in mind, you know, like what he wanted to ask and everything. And so he goes, okay, so start teaching me, coach. What do you do for a wrestling team? And Phil goes into people skill mode.
Yeah.
And like, DeArm's like, what? And he goes, yes, this is how you handle the parents. This is how you handle the wrestlers. This is how you handle your practices. This is when you know, interact with your wrestlers. But anyway, he just had, and I was listening and I was just like floored because I had forgotten, you know,
Yeah.
just all the basics of what it takes to run a really smooth wrestling program. And it takes a lot of people skills.
Yeah.
And DeAndre walked away and went, wow, I was not expecting that. But thank goodness I got this information because he says, you just took away a lot of issues I see that could have arisen as me coach. You just made it so much easier. Now I can just coach wrestling now that I know how to handle people and, you know,
Yeah.
so that was just an amazing, just watching him work with a coach and
Um,
him.
so let's touch on this. And I asked this to Coach Kyler. What do you think makes a great coach?
Caring,
Yeah.
being passionate about the sport, totally caring about every single individual. I mean, I know Phil was concerned, you know, he never coached women's wrestling before, but he just applied what he applies to every single person. The first thing Phil will ask you is, what is your dream? And
That's
I'll,
great.
I'll support you. You know, he wants to be there to support what motivates you. I mean, people are in the wrestling program at WSU wrestling because they're there for themselves, not because they're trying to do it for someone else. Because usually kids in the past do it for their parents.
Yeah.
They're basically there because they want to, because it's helping them grow inside and physically, mentally. They're being healthier. I mean, Phil just believes that you should be a very healthy person and it gives you habits to take the rest of your life. So and I think that's what Coach Kyler enjoys wrestling so much. He just has, he feels healthier because,
Yeah.
and he works hard because of it. You know, you just develop these habits that you just keep coming back to. You have a foundation to always fall back to. And I think it just makes you a successful person.
I absolutely love that. What is your dream should probably, be at the top of every coach's education, how to be a coach, just asking every kid in front of you, what is your dream?
Right.
And so for so many in the youth space, and when I say youth, I mean even into high school, for so many of them, the dream is not to be a state champion or to be a national champion or to go wrestle in college. Their dream is just to maybe get a JV letter and be on a team and know that they did a sport all 4 years. To learn how to be a good teammate, to learn how to do. I'm really big on let's learn how to do hard things. right? Because there's never going to be an end to the hard things. So many, that's their dream. And so I love the idea that he is presenting himself as, I'm not telling you what the dream is. I want to hear what yours is, and I'll support you in that. And I cannot say enough how much coaching is not about skills and technique and strategy. That's a part of it, but
Yes.
so much of coaching and being a good coach is doing exactly what Phil does, just trying to connect, understand, and relate to in some way, all the men and women on the team and the coaches as well. I don't know about the other coaches, but I get a call from him or a text from him on a very regular basis. He doesn't have to. And a lot of times he's just checking in, just wanting to share a couple things and just checking in. And then that gives me a chance. Phil and I we can go forever. I mean, I'm the 5 mile drive. Like, we're going to talk for 5 hours, or the five hours,
5
not 5
hours.
miles. We're going to talk through that whole 5 hours. We're going to cover all kinds of stuff. Cause I think we both have, we just love talking about wrestling. So that is beautiful, Susan. I think perhaps that's where we could end this episode. What do you think?
Yes, I just wanted to encourage anybody, if you have any questions about the golf invitational, the banquet, where if you want to be a sponsor or just a small donation, or you want to give gifts or auctions, just send an email to phil.burnett@wsu.edu, and that's PHIL.BURNETT@wsu.edu, and we will send you the information and meet you at your needs. And just don't be bashful. Reach out to us. Like she said, Phil will take a phone call and talk to you and help you in any of your organizations too. So, don't hesitate to reach out to us, and we do appreciate your support. It's going to be an amazing year. I can't even, everybody's so excited. I mean, it's going to be amazing.
I agree. It's going to be a great year. I hope more and more businesses, organizations, and individuals find WSU wrestling and find a way to give, no matter how big or small. I think you guys have done a really good job of cultivating sponsorship and donations. And this golf tournament is a great way to kick it all off. And I know there's going to be more opportunities, but Saturday, January 22nd, check us out on Instagram at WSU_wrestling. And Susan, thank you so much. This has been awesome. I can't wait to do it again.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Susan.
Bye-bye.